No, for a minute, I thought maybe my sound wasn't working.
I know.
It's being quiet.
Just fiddling with stuff.
Shalom, Rabbi Galit.
Hi.
Marvin, how are you doing?
Still here.
That's quite a picture. Okay, let's see. What am I doing here? There we are. Okay, Reba. Reba is on mute because she says it's noisy where she is. She has a noisy family. Barbara says, I knew who you meant, Barbara. I do that too, by the way. So shalom. Okie dokie. It's funny. Well, I'm kind of not going to worry about it. It doesn't seem to want to, well, I'm not going to worry about it. And just not. Hi, Brady.
Shalom, Rabbi.
And Rocio Gutierrez Perez. And Ellen Rose is on Facebook. Shalom, everybody. And how pleasant it is when all of us dwell together. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed. Praise to be the one to whom our praise is due. Praise to be the one to whom our praise is due, now and forever. Here's Ellen Friedman is joining us. Ahavat Olam. Rabbi Elias, would you please favor us by reading the Ahavat Olam?
It'd be my honor. Thank you, Rabbi. Your love has embraced us always, in wilderness and promised land, in good times and in bad. Night and day your Torah sustains us, reviving the spirit, delighting the heart, informing the soul, opening the eyes, granting us a glimpse of eternity. Because of your love, we shall embrace Torah day and night in devotion and delight. Beloved are you, Adonai, whose Torah reflects your love.
Beautiful. Thank you. Shema Yisrael Adonai Elohim Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Listen, Israel. Adonai is our God. Adonai is one. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. Marvin, would you read the translation for us, please, at the bottom of the page?
You shall love Adonai your God with all your mind, with all your soul, and with all your strength. Set these words which I command you on this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your house and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorpost of your house and on your gates.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Susan, would you please read the translation? You're muted.
Hold on. Be mindful of all my mitzvah and do them, thus you will become holy to your God. I, Adonai, am your God, who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. I, Adonai, am your God.
Adonai Elohechem emet. Adonai, your God, is true. See? Who is like you, Adonai, among all that is worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Amy, would you read us the Hashkivenu, please?
Yes, ma'am. Oh God, you are a consolation to your creatures, for in moments of forgetting, but we call to mind your care, and we are comforted. We hope no more a pattern show reminds us of your loving kindness. Your dawn gives us confidence, and sleep is a friend. You are here. We felt same Tov.
Baruch atah Adonai, haborei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Yitkadav yitkadav shemei Rabba, be'alma divrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'yomechon u'v'chayir kol beit Yisrael, bagala bagala u'vizman kariv, v'imeru amen. Yehi shemei Rabba mevorach le'olam u'lal me'omaya yitbarak v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha b'richu leila mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nekemata damiran be'alma b'imeru amen. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid ilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Rekonei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei v'Ne'am, Leman Shemo Be'ava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol atah משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מקלקל חיים בחסד, וחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומק נופלים ורופא חולים, ומרתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשמי עפר, מי כמוך בעל דיבורו, ומרדום אליו, מלך במית ומקיים, ומצמיח ישועה. למען נתן להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מקיים הכל. Take a moment now to say your own private prayer from your heart. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ועל כל יושבים ואמרו אמן. You're welcome, Rabbi Elias. He said, I love it when Rabbi Galit brings out the bongos and the tambourine. Actually, that was my guitar. I should get bongos. I have a little music room now, and I should get bongos. No, you cannot eat my talit. Let's see if I can do this. Yes, good. Okay. I found my yard. After searching for 3 months. Okay. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Oh, Ellen is on Facebook. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. Ve'natan lanu et torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Ve'ata תצווה אל בני ישראל, ויקחו אליך שמן זית זך, כתית למאור, לעלות נר תמיד, באוהל מועד מחוץ לפרוכת Asher al ha'edut ya'arok ota karon ubanav me'erev ad boker livnei Adonai chukat olam ledorotam me'et bnei Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. And Amy says, if I get bongos, I think someone may try to eat them. Yes, yes, undoubtedly. The first part of this is, well, first part of this Torah portion is kind of cool. You shall further instruct the Israelites to bring you clear oil of beaten olives for lighting, for kindling lamps regularly. Aaron and his son shall set them up in the tent of meeting outside the curtain which is over the ark of the pact, to burn from evening to morning before Adonai. It shall be a due from the Israelites for all time throughout the ages. Wait a minute. I don't want to lose my place. It all has to do with the instructions of making the menorah. And the directions for the lamp oil and its use appear here as a prelude to the units on priestly vestments and investiture. Everything had to be, all of the physical stuff had to be done before we could actually decide on who was going to be the priests and who was, and so forth. The end of the Torah portion, however, is not. Tomorrow is tomorrow. Shabbat is Shabbat Zachor. It's the Shabbat before the fast of Esther. And the thing that we are supposed to remember, Zachor being memory, is that we shouldn't forget what Amalek did. The Maftir actually goes to the book of Deuteronomy. No, not Deuteronomy, it goes back to, where is it? I did lose my place. But you should not forget Amalek. Amalek has followed us throughout this whole history of ours. Amalek didn't care that we were being led by God. He didn't believe in God. He just said, that's fine, I'll kill them all. there was a blood feud, actually a whole blood feud of, and it even in the Maftir, the Haftarah, Samuel is told by God to tell King Saul to wipe out everything that King Agag had. Crops, flocks, animals, children, women, everything. Just wipe the whole thing out. Well, they didn't. And because they didn't, we are still we're still suffering under Amalek. That's the whole basis of anti-Semitism. It is the whole basis of what we're going through now. I live in a city where 2 Jews were just shot down in the street. And you hear about it practically every day. Any comments?
I forget where it was, but this lady was targeted, and they said they were going to kill her because she was Jewish.
Oh yes, Michigan, I think.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah,
She was was she the Attorney General?
yeah, I think. Yeah, her. And then last week was supposed to be a day of hate, but the synagogue in New York had services outside, like telling these people, "Oh, you can't scare us." You know what I mean? Like, you can't win, because we'll win.
They can't anymore. That's the thing is we've finally learned how to do this. We have finally learned how to fight back. And I think there are still some people who say, gee, why did that happen to us? I was, when I was first in the process of becoming Jewish, I was in a, I didn't belong to the synagogue yet. I had it, but it was a synagogue that I ultimately became cantor. It's called Temple Beth David in Temple City in the Inland Empire here in California. And some guys came in, skinheads came in, kids, and burned the place. Well, they didn't burn much. They couldn't get to the Torahs because the ark was made of metal. But they did smash windows and so forth, and they had some beautiful stained glass windows that they replaced them with. But I remember there was a woman that was taking the Introduction to Judaism class, not with me, but somewhere else, possibly at Temple Beth David. And they interviewed her and they said, how does this make you feel? And her answer blew me away. She said, well, it really makes me stop and think. And I'm going, think about what? If you're going to become a Jew, this is what you signed up for. I mean, that's the truth. This is what I signed up for. I couldn't believe that this woman said that. It's not that I like to be a martyr. It's it's that I know I've been bullied before in my life, and and I know what that's like. And I've had things thrown at me. I haven't had anybody try to kill me. But one of the interesting things in my life was going back and visiting my father in Kansas and having a guy say, could you deliver a letter personally to somebody out in California? He's a cousin of mine. And he was a big guy, and he was a nice fellow who once saved my father's life. Handed me this letter. And I didn't read it. I took it with me and brought it home. And when I got home, I read it. And it basically was, tell me how many guns you guys are going to need to kill all the blacks and Jews. I did not. Yes, Brady.
Stupid to think how hateful people can be. Hateful for no reason. A synagogue just down the street from me was vandalized. Had a Orthodox synagogue, Chabad synagogue, had a brick thrown through the window, and then Free Palestine put all over it.
Mhm.
And I've experienced some things. There's a Palestinian girl who I wear a kippah, and I think she's being pulled out of classes by all the classes that I have with her. Her father's coming and pulling her out because she doesn't want to be in a classroom with a Jew.
At any rate, I didn't call the police. I didn't do it, but I did not deliver the letter.
She also, it was really sad to me. It made me feel really, really, really little inside, but now that I review it, and now that it makes me more proud to be a Jew. It makes me more proud to be a child of Israel.
Yep, me too.
Well, I know here in Lakeland, we've taken precautions at my brick and mortar because around the lake, we did have some neo-Nazis with their papers and spreading them around. And we do have a cop car that sits outside. Sometimes they'll just park the vehicle there, just the sight of it being there, whether or not there's an officer there or not. But when we have services, there is an active officer on duty.
Mhm.
But I do know this little subtle thing. I don't know if you can see it. See my little thing? I
Yes.
always wear this in my hair. Anytime I go out, that is always in my hair. And I mean, that little thing, it gets a little bit of attention. And I don't know if I've ever experienced any derogatory things from people. If anything, I've had people do almost the opposite. You know, they'll stop and talk to me. But I guess I always look for teachable moments. You know, sometimes people have weird ideas about Jewish people, and I can put my little upbringing or my little bit that I know, you know, I'm still learning myself, but I can, you know, I can talk to them, and with my Christian background, I know where they're coming from, you know, and you know, I know where they're coming from too. And so I can kind of work around all that and work with them. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's, yeah, you know, you don't know what's going on. And maybe our advantage is that our synagogue it's on a lake. So there's, you know, and it's up on a big hill. And somebody had really, if they wanted to do damage, they're gonna have to climb up the hill to get to it. And,
I know that in some of the other, in some of the European countries and in Mexico, I know they don't publicize where they are, the synagogues.
yeah,
They don't, you know, and I wanted to go to a synagogue in Barcelona, and I contacted them ahead of time. You have to send them references. Yeah, you have to prove that you're a Jew for you to be able to attend. And in Mexico,
I know when I was thinking about converting, before I even set foot in any synagogue, I emailed them first. I looked them up, emailed them, and told them who I was and that I was going through classes. At the time, I was starting classes with Rabbi Steve.
uh-huh.
And I said I would like to come and visit, and they would respond. And the first people that responded to me were the local Chabad. And I didn't go to a regular service. They were having, they had a guest speaker come and says, yeah, we're meeting such and such a night, and it's going to cost like $10 or something to come. And the guy that was there was really good. I mean, he had a story too, because he was from Germany. He was raised, he started out as I guess, a Lutheran. Then he converted to Judaism. He moved to Israel. He was an engineer of all things. He helped the Israeli army or the Air Force get to where they can, when they're in the air with the planes and they can fuel their planes in the air. He was part of the engineering that developed that technique. And then, of course, he converted. And then he came to America. He started, I guess somehow he got involved with some kind of Pentecostally type area. But long story short, he went through that and then went out to Texas. I think he became a little bit messianic type.
Yeah.
And then from there he became Jewish, and now he's full blown. He wears the black thing and the hat and everything and the beard. I mean, he's full force. He and his wife. So he just went through all of the stages.
Reba's originally from Virginia, right? So the South.
Yeah.
But she lives in Japan. She says here in Japan, there's absolutely no anti-Semitism. During the, wait a minute, it just moved. During a Zoom Torah study, one person who's Japanese and Jewish talked extensively about how Jews are not persecuted today. She spoke like this on the day of hatred, the day of hate, whatever that was. That she was shocked to learn what's happening in the United States. She says, I feel like I live in a protected bubble. Fortunately, I've never experienced any type of anti-Semitism in my entire life, not one single instance. And like I said, she's from Roanoke, Virginia. And
I wish I could say the same thing. I grew up in rural Maryland, and my experiences in school were awful. Now, my brother is 2 years younger, and he did not have the same classmates, and he did not have the same experience, thankfully. And then when I went to college, I got verbally accosted repeatedly by these evangelicals that lived in the building I lived in. And I finally turned around and I said, you know that my grandmother's siblings, 5 siblings died in the Holocaust, and my grandmother's mother and my grandmother's father. I am not going to be anything but Jewish. People died for being Jewish. My family, my relatives died for being Jewish, and there's no way. And then I started talking about my grandmother's youngest sister, who was apparently a piano prodigy. And think about how she could have become if she lived. So that it brought it home to them that I actually could talk about somebody, even though I'd never met her.
Yeah.
And it made it real. I mean, they didn't deny the Holocaust. They just, Jews are going to hell and all this nonsense that I'm sure many of us have heard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there are some.
Yeah. Okay. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Toby, would you like to read the middle of the page? English?
Sure, Rabbi. Ours is the duty to praise the all-sovereign, to honor the artist of creation who made us unique in the human family with a destiny all our own. For this we bend our knees and bow with gratitude before the sovereign, almighty monarch of all, the wellspring in holiness and blessing.
Thank you. On that day, the eternal shall be one, and God's name shall be one. Nisha Berach for the sick. I'm saying Nisha Berach today for Malka Mindel Bat Sarah Leah, Representative Jamie Raskin, Sharon Cohen, Mike Lassine, Reuven Ben Perel, Miriam Bat Esther Chava, Ziona Bat Chava, Chava Bat Elsa, Tova Chana Bat Perel, Moshe Lazar Ben Chana, Etta Bat Gittel, Ada Bat Chanya, Rachel Bat Benjamin, Rala, Yosef Ben Albert and his family, Batya Malka Bat Perel Chaya, Menashe Ben Menachem, Roland and Judy Hansen, all COVID-19 victims, all sufferers of Guillain-Barré syndrome, the Turkish and the Syrian people affected and injured in the earthquake. Ellen is praying for all who are suffering physically and emotionally around the world. And all Sim Shalomers in need of refuah shalema. Rabbi Elias is praying for Granny Franny, for Willow, for Ziona's husband. What's your husband's name, Ziona?
Thomas David Ben Catherine.
Thomas David Ben
Catherine.
Catherine. Thank you. Brady is praying for his father and all who are suffering. Ellen Friedman is praying for Carol Pontius. bat Sally Vinatan, B bat Etta, Marlene bat Chaya. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage, Marvin Gruber, to make our lives a blessing, the people of East Palestine, Ohio. And let us say, Amen. The Jewish government officials of Michigan. And Amy is praying for me, DeMar Hamlin, Albert Madison, Valerie Madison, Maddie, Janice, Ellen Friedman, Ellen Rose, Marvin, and Granny Franny. Ellen Rose is praying for Aaron Ben Ellen, Ellen Bat Sali Vinatan. Oh, I did that. Okay. Michel Berak, Avo Imotenu, Nicole Abraham, bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. The Mourner's Kaddish. I'm praying for all of the animals that have been killed in East Palestine, Ohio. I don't think anyone has died yet from the explosion, but I'm afraid they will. The over 50,000 people killed in the Turkish and Syrian earthquake. Ziona is saying Kaddish for her grandmother, Ethel Mossman. I'm saying Kaddish for my husband, Sharon ben Avraham, for Sarah, for the millions of coronavirus victims, for the victims of racial violence, gun violence, for all the Ukrainians and Russians killed in Putin's war. Ellen Rose is praying for all who have no one to say Kaddish for them. Ellen is also saying Kaddish for Lowell Ben Sally and Natan. Please join me in the Mourner's Kaddish. Rabbi Elias is also praying for Brownie. Amy is praying for my Mr. Bob, for Audrey, Rivka Hanna, Francis Johnson, Mike Midler, Kathy Olstein, and her mom, Chana Bat Israel. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. Be'alma tivrach Yirutei, be'amlich malchutei. V'chayikon
Melchon, Chobet Israel, Bagala Isman Karib, Miru, Amen. Shema Rabba, O me Amma, me Amaya, Yitbarach,
V'yitpa'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal,
Vitalal,
Shemei
Shmei Gacha, Brehu,
Le'ela mikol,
Koberata, Shirata.
Tushbachata,
I've got Warfrick.
Amiran Be'alma,
Ma, Biru, Amen.
Brady is praying for all victims of terrorism, and Ellen Friedman is praying for Maureen McManus and Henry Friedman. Yehe Shalama Rabba
Ramin Shemaya,
V'chaim aleinu
Kol Yisrael.
v'imavur
Amen.
oseh
Say
shalom
shalom and love.
u'yaseh
Say
shalom
shalom.
aleinu v'al
Kol Yisrael.
kol
Kol
Yosef
Yisrael.
v'imavur.
Amen. Oh no. Oh my goodness, it's terrible.
I'll try and watch that too, by the way.
Yeah.
Ziona just said that there is on the Hallmark Channel, has a movie tonight about a golem in about an hour. In about an hour your time, probably.
Yeah.
I'll check. My TV is a streaming TV, so I need to find the Hallmark Channel.
Oh God.
This Monday is my husband's the calendar date of his death. Not having a great day or weekend, I guess.
Me neither. I remember my mom. Oh God. Then my birthday's even
we
worse.
forgot someone in Misha Berach.
Oh,
Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy, not Jimmy Stewart, Jimmy, Mr. Jimmy.
Mr. Jimmy?
Mr. Jimmy.
Whoever
Carter?
that is.
Jimmy Carter?
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter. That's right. I forgot.
People in this town, that's what they call him, Mr. Jimmy.
I want to thank you especially for saying Misha Barak for Representative Jamie Raskin. He's my representative and a real mensch.
Oh, yes, he is.
Mm.
I know
And he's not stopped working either.
I know that. I know that. I'm a political junkie, so. Okay. I love you.
Yes,
guys.
you are a junkie. Yes, you are a junkie. Aw,
Not all kind of junkie, but
no, just, your child, well, she likes to eat your feet,
right. I'm a
She likes to
Jezebel
eat
junkie.
you. Oh, can you send me the thing for the wine in the email, please?
Yes, yes.
So I don't feel
Sorry,
stupid
please.
tomorrow.
Please nudge me, would you?
I'm nudging you from here.
Okay. Not nudge.
Okay, I'm nudging you. Why don't you build a little snowman?
It's a Yiddish expression, and it needs the Yiddish
God.
sound.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Bye, everyone. I love
Bye,
you.
everybody. Bye, everybody.
Erev Tov.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Brad.